Welcome back, my Duelist friends. Casual Duelist here. It's Thursday. So what that means is the last couple of days we went over our common charity Ojama build. So we need our master game Ojama build. Now, I cannot take full credit for this one. This is not entirely my list. This is a list that was sent to me. The submittee wanted to be more or less anonymous, whatever. Big thanks, big shout out. You know who you are. I hope that I did this right, and with the mods that I made, I hope that you enjoy it. So this one was more of an Ojama control, and it's fun. This is like a lot of fun, maybe even more fun than the common charity variant. So let's just go ahead. Let's get into the deck list, and we'll get started, okay? So this time we're going to be running twos. And it's going to be two of each of our normal non-effect text Ojamas. So that's going to be 3 black, 3 green, 2 black, 2 green, 2 yellows. On blue, we are going to maximize on blue. So blue will be at 3. We will maximize pink to 3. We will only play red at 1. And again, unlike my previous build, this one doesn't rely on links. And does not heavily base itself on the Xyz as much. So the red's just not as useful. It's just not as good a play. One of the things that they do to counter my lack of polymerization was they included 3 copies King of the Swamp. So good card, great card, pulling a double duty actually. It's just fantastic. And then last monster up will be 3 copies of Rescue Cat. Now, just real quick, let me read this. These are not the newest errata version. So when I go over the effects, just know that the text on here is going to be slightly different from what I say, because the monsters summoned from this effect no longer have their effects immediately. So we do need to play this older card as though it was the newest variant, because it's just how it works, guys. But this is going to be your monster base this time around. Go ahead, take the screenshot, pause the video, make the notes, do what you guys got to do, and let me get this board cleaned up for you, and then we'll get off into our spells. And maybe even our traps. Let me check. Now we'll do the traps separate. There's like 7 of them this time, so just real quick. All right. So now that we got the monsters out of the way, let's talk the spells. The spells are going to be a little different. And again, it's just about setting up your combo pieces a little quicker than I did with mine. But then again, you know what? I don't remember card destruction being a common. So this is a card that we can actually utilize here. We can go ahead, dump full hand. And you know what? This can kind of mess with an opponent. The only time this truly backfires is if we're playing against that one of Dark World Duelist or somebody's running Fabled. Like, I don't see too many other decks really getting mad at us. Or, you know, getting aggressive on us because we hit the card distro. But it is what it is. Running 2 copies Foolish Burial Goods. You guys will get this one here in a second. We are going to maximize country again. We are going to maximize magic this time. We want this portion to be just as consistent as possible now. So 3 and 3s. We are going to be running 3 copies Polymerization. Peep the original show art. Love it. Single Geki, because again, field destruction, and again, some more opportune than hitting a dark hole, just because you don't want to ruin your own progress, just theirs. And then 1 terraforming. And again, we could have had a terraforming last time. We chose to go with Metaverse. It is what it is. It's no big deal. Small spell board, very consistent spell board. Take the screenshot, take the notes, and let's get to the traps. 1 second. All right. And the traps, like I said, there's going to be 7 of them. Again, we are going to embrace Metaverse because it is still good and still relevant. We want to run 3 copies of Ojama Duo. Now, we're using this for 2 reasons. One, because, you know, an Ojama Trio is fun. But let's be honest. When it comes to boarding 3 guys or 2, sometimes boarding the 2 is easier than trying to board 3 on the opposing side. So it's more flexible when we're trying to lock our opponent's play. And we also get another effect later on. We'll explain that during the wrap-up. And then 3 copies Solemn Judgment to round out the deck. Again, we went Judgment instead of strikes. We just absolutely need the negation. and the flexibility that this counter trap is actually going to give us. So again, it's about utility, it's about control, and it's about setting up that control as fast as possible. Real quick, let me clear the board. Let's get you guys an extra deck. All right. So first things first, you guys probably knew that this was coming, but I'm going to be running 2 kings, and I'm going to be running 3 knights. And again, this is kind of right because of the way that we can utilize the additional copy of our Ojama. We have a higher consistency. We can dedicate the extra slot to another Ojama card. Honestly, this player had 3-2. A 3 and 3. I wanted to cut it down because I thought that there was another card that we could use that's maybe just as good. So I'd like to introduce you guys to First of the Dragons. You guys may or may not already know this one. But I do want to take a second. This is 2 normal monsters. So again, just any 2 of the original trio. Must be fusion summoned, cannot be special summoned other ways. You can only control 1. Cannot be destroyed by battle except with a normal monster and is unaffected by monster effects. So again, just real quick, it's very hard to offboard this thing outside of Kaiju. Kaiju tributing it is maybe the only way to get First of the Dragons off of a player's field, unless you're playing up against, again, like a really weird Blue Eyes deck or something, and then they board Blue Eyes to attack you. So kind of different. And again, being immune to monster effects in most battle, crazy cool. So I felt like that would be an appropriate substitute for the 3rd king. If you guys don't believe so, go ahead, play the 3rd king. You're not going to hurt my feelings. I just thought that this would be very fun and maybe teach a new player a thing or two. We're going to go over to the Xyz. We use a lot more Xyz this time. We are going to be using the one of copy Gachi Gantetsu again. We're going to use a Herald of the Pure Light. We're going to use a Joyous Melfi's. We're going to use a Melfi Mommy. We're going to use a number 64 Ronin Raccoon Sundayu. We're going to use a number 96 Dark Mist. And 1 copy, the Phantom Knights of Cursed Javelin. So again, very cool, and there's like a nice interaction with the Melfi's. We'll go over that later, probably tomorrow, and hopefully you guys will enjoy it. And again, we've only got 2 spots left, so we went with 2 copies of Ojama Emperor, because again, might as well have every Ojama monster that we can in this Ojama build. And again, he's cool looking. I mean, look at him. He's awesome. So if you guys were just here for the deck list, I'm going to leave this up for a few seconds longer. But, you know, go ahead, take that screenshot or those notes. Guys, I want to thank you guys for stopping by again. Hopefully you enjoyed this version of Ojamas. If you guys haven't checked it out yet, there is a common charity Ojamas already on the channel. That was 2 days ago. And a couple days from now, 3 days from now, we will be going over the Speed Duel Ojamas. So again, it is Ojama week. I hope that you guys have been enjoying it. If you haven't already subscribed, do consider that. If you have, maybe hit the notification bell. Maybe it's time that you get those notifications a little more regularly. You know, let your friends know about the channel. And if you were just here for the deck list, thanks for stopping by. You guys are free to go. Everybody else, we are going to go over the effects now. And as usual, that means that we will be rewinding back to the beginning of the deck. So, let's get it. Starting up, again, we're just using them for the names and or normal monster. 2 black, 2 green, 2 yellow. And again, 2 is a very consistent number for this. There will be ways for us to play around with that a little more. We do maximize blue. Again, when destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, add 2 Ojama cards from the deck to the hand. And again, this can include Oja Muscle because of the way that it was originally written and the fact that it's considered part of the archetype. It is what it is. And just kind of play him. He's probably the best of the non-originals. Pink still doing a good job here. If sent from hand or field to grave, activate this effect. Both players draw 1, drop 1. Then if you discarded an Ojama card, you could choose an opponent's unused monster zone, and it cannot be used until the end of your opponent's turn. So you get the partial 1 space ground collapse to go with the 2/3 collapse off Night King. We can go for a possible full board lock this way. Unfortunately, there is, as of yet, no way to collapse extra zones. But you know what? Ojama's might be the deck that gets it. Again, maximize this guy because we do want to get into the draw cards. Ojama Red, when is normal summoned, you can special summon up to 4 Ojamas from hand in attack mode. Again, not as useful in this build because we're less focused on the Link builds and more on the Xyz. So it's a lot more the 1-2 stuff. So red is not as necessary. King of the Swamp can be substituted for any one fusion material monster. So again, if you have 2 of the 3 originals, he could be the 3rd. Additionally, you can discard this card from the hand to the graveyard to add polymerization from the deck to the hand. So he's going to be pulling double duty. He's going to be a fusion substitute as well as functioning as a polymerization tutor. Rescue Cat, and I'm going to read it as though it was the new errata. Send this face-up card from your side of the field to the graveyard. Special summon 2 level 3 or lower beast-type monsters from your deck to the field. Those monsters cannot use their effects this turn. The monsters special summoned in this way are destroyed during the end phase. Again, this is important because we used to use it the other way. It was very cool. He got banned. Then it got brought back with some errata, which made it more fair. And again, this is why red is only at 1. Because Rescue Cat really gets you to your Xyz plays better. So just keep that in mind. Going over to the spells, card destruction. Both players drop their hand, draw that many new. Foolish Burial Goods is send a spell trap from the deck to the graveyard. Only activate 1 of these per turn. This is here for our Ojama duo. The Country, again, once per turn, send an Ojama card from hand to grave. Special summon an Ojama from the grave. And while you have an Ojama, stat flip. So very cool. Magic, when it is sent from hand or field to grave, add 1 each, green, yellow, and black from deck to hand. Very good. Poly, Fusion Catalyst, Geki, destroy opponent's monsters, terraforming, add country to hand, Metaverse, play country from deck or add country to hand. Ojama Duo, special summon 2 Ojama tokens. Again, normal Ojama stats, level 2 light beast, 0 by 1,000. To the opponent's side of the field in defense mode. These tokens cannot be tributed for a tribute summon, and each time one is destroyed, its controller takes 300 damage. During either player's turn except the turn this is sent to the graveyard, you may banish this to special summon 2 Ojamas with different names from your deck. So again, we can go with a little less red. Could I have used this in Common Charity? Yes. Did I have extra copies for my Common Charity collection? No. So I did just want to go a different route then. But Duo, very good card. You could play it, then activate it again, or we could speed it up, use our Foolish Burial Goods, and get to the better effect that first. And then again, Judgment. Pay half your life points. Stop a spell, trap, or monster summon. Again, just kind of like an all or nothing, that's not going to happen type of effect. So very good, very heavy-handed, and definitely what a control variant needs. The 2 Kings, you guys know King and Knight. We're done with that. We already talked about First of Dragons. I just think he's really good. Going over to the Xyz, Gachi. Gives all my monsters 200 attack and defense for every material it has. If this card will be destroyed, I mean, we detach material instead. Really powers up the field, especially during a stat flip when it's going to be 18 to 2200. Herald of the Pure Light, going to be rocking a 600 by 1,000 or 1,000 by 600, depending on the stat flip. 2 level 2s, detach material from this, target a monster in your graveyard, add it to your hand, then shuffle a card from your hand into the deck. You can use this effect only once per turn. Now, this can allow you to resurrect red if you wanted to, because you may be playing an Ojama, playing the Ojamagic a little bit later in the game. And you started off with red, unfortunately. This could allow you to get back to red and actually swarm the field. You could also get back your cat this way. Joyous Melfies, 2+ level 2 beasts. Detach material from this. Your Melfi monsters can attack directly this turn. During your opponent's turn, quick effect, target a beast Xyz monster you control, return it to the extra deck. Then special summon level 2 or lower beasts from the graveyard up to the number of materials the monster had. You can only use this effect once per turn. So that's kind of cool. Again, we can suck up our entire field real quick. Revert the stat reversion back to normal. This will be a 2K beater, which is kind of cool. It could also pop itself, which is kind of fun. And then just separate. And then you do have Melfi Mommy. 2+ level 2 beasts. Once per turn, quick effect. You can attach one beast from your hand or face up on the field to this card as material. Gain effects based on the number of materials attached to it. If it's 3 or more, you cannot be destroyed by battle. If it's 4 or more, you also take no damage from battles involving this. And if it's 5 or more, when an attack is declared involving this card and an attack position monster, inflict damage to the opponent equal to the attack position monster's attack. So again, we can just keep running into big monsters. We don't take the damage. They take damage equal to their attack. It's kind of goofy. And it was just fun enough. I kept it in. Number 64, Sundayo. 2 level 2 beasts. Once per turn to detach material from this. Special summon a Kagamusha raccoon token. Question mark by 0. When special summon, its attack becomes equal to the current attack of the monster that has the highest attack, your choice if it is tied. While you control another beast-type monster, this cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. So again, you do get to summon out and spawn little tokens. It is better when you have no Ojamas, because of course the question mark is in the attack, which then should make it, the question mark is now the defense. Gets confusing, but it's still fun of as a one-of. Dark Mist, again, 3 level 2s. Can steal half the attack of a monster battling it and add it to itself permanently. And again, while the field spell is in play and active, the stats will be flipped. It'll start at 1,000 and it'll get big real quick. Curse Knight, the Javelin, he is going to still be able to destroy cards. Still not going to be a quick effect because we're still not using Phantom Knight cards. It is what it is. And then last up will be our Ojama Emperor. So this is 3 beasts, including an Ojama. So it doesn't have to be all Ojamas. It can be whatever you like. While Ojama Country is in a field zone, this will gain 3,000 attack. Cannot be destroyed by card effects. Your opponent takes any battle damage you would have taken from attacks on this card instead. You can target a non-link Ojama monster in your graveyard, special summon it. For the rest of this turn, you cannot special summon from the extra deck except Fusion. You can only use this effect once per turn. So again, this can bring back your king. This can bring back your knight. They are non-link. And of course, this will allow you to further your control by going ahead, beating down the monster with the 3K Emperor, and then allowing the fusion monsters to come back during the second main phase to just sort of solidify your seat of power. So very cool. Again, not my build. We're going to try a couple test hands. We're going to talk about a couple of the interactions tomorrow. I do hope that you guys enjoyed this. I hope that you guys have been enjoying the whole Ojama so far. I hope it doesn't get too played out by the end of the week. And guys, have a wonderful day. Hope to see you back tomorrow when we do the rest. See ya.